so heavy rainfall that may lead to flash flooding is likely. So Emergency Management Queensland says please avoid driving, walking or riding through floodwaters. Seek shelter, preferably indoors and never under trees. Avoid using the telephone. Beware of fallen trees and power lines, and if you do need emergency assistance, contact the SES on 132 500. That's 132 500 for the SES.
Thanks, Anne. Looking forward to further updates and more on what's going on with those flood warnings across the state very soon here with ABC Local Radio Queensland. I'm just having a look at the weather radars across the state at the moment. You can see quite a bit of activity in the area. In fact, basically a line of the storm sort of moving through, as you'd expect, pretty well in line with what that warning says. South of Collins, and the line roughly goes through about Youngalla, through to a gap between Nebo and Serena, and just west of Carmilla is one of the sections where you can see a fair bit of that storm activity starting to come along. It's not that widespread, but a couple of decent chunks, you can say, when it comes to that band of rain and storm. And then the area around the southeast.
Annoying again.
Yeah, it's got a huge yard.
It's only just the southern edge of Toowoomba and going through to about Gayndah. There's a fair bit of activity there, and then also in the area around Somerset, Kilcoy, and around Edmonton as well. Still you get a fair bit of activity. There's a couple of chunky storms there that have got a fair bit of colours on the radar. If you're familiar with the colour scheme, drive the colours usually, or a bit of rainfall is coming your way.
ABC Local Radio Queensland, your emergency services network.
Very soon, crossing to some of the ABC's reporters who are out in the field at the moment and touching base with quite a few people in the communities across Queensland that have been
Seriously,
affected by the
doing it.
emergency over the past few days. If you'd like to give me your point of view on things, maybe you've actually been told up because you're still
On the
out
other
without
side.
power, wondering how much longer it's going to be. Look, even just
I think
past the
they are.
time,
I think it's
all take a day. Pretty easy to do, isn't it? 1300 36 0612 and the text line 0487
So is this time-lapse or-
993 222.
No,
I've
it's
also got someone
actually
tracked down who, before 4 o'clock hopefully,
Still going, it's good.
going to be able to talk a little bit more about the way
8.40, that
you feel.
says.
You know, sometimes you might be inclined to get a bit angry about it. You know what I'm talking about? Especially if you've had something like this happen to you a couple of times relatively recently. Maybe you feel a bit confused about it all, just a little bit lost. The job's too big, you don't know where to start. What to assess and what to read into the way that you're feeling and the way that your mind can do a few things that get a bit of time on its hands. So we'll have a look at a few of the issues that are going on there very soon here with ABC Local Radio Queensland. Repeating some of the information from the Rockhampton Council a little bit earlier on this afternoon. They were saying that they're hoping to keep the roundabouts open just to the south of Rockhampton, hoping that, with that in mind, there may be a little bit longer at least traffic able to get through to and from Gladstone, looking at some of the options they might have there.
Must have caught on to that guy's doing
this evening is probably the most
trips
likely
and
where the water's going to start to come over the road. But we'll
was
wait
it?
and see what goes on there. Similar story. Start to have a look at the Capricorn Highway as well, just to the west of Rockhampton, expecting that there could be a closure or at least water over the road getting into this evening. Should be able to get some further updates on that for you very soon as well. But yesterday, out and about in the Rockhampton area,
See
and some of the
little sign
suburbs
making
that
out
are
there.
waiting for the floodwater to arrive, David Island made it to Depot Hill, where he met up with one of the locals, John Krager, who's nervously waiting for the floodwaters to peak.
If it doesn't come through the house, I'm right. But I've evacuated everything under the house and that and down my shed. The only thing is, we had all birds down the back. So I had to find places to put them, you know.
So where are they? They come inside.
I know, that's only a couple. But
No,
the boys have got about 30 birds
Only
down the
10.
back. They breed and sing, and
Oh, yeah.
just have to find places where we can put them.
This house seems pretty low stairs, but you were telling me that in the last flood, water didn't quite come into the house. How close to the edge?
Well, it was about a foot from the floor. We were. One next door is lower than mine. It went through there. But we had a flood in 2008, and then I spent a lot of money on this one. We raised a little bit, you know, so you don't get it. I don't think I raised it far enough. council saying it's going to be lower than the last one. And then I had a bloke here yesterday turn around and said that it's going to be higher than the last one. And I said, all you can do is wait until it comes down through Riversley and then you can work it out then. But I'd say myself, with all the ones I've been through, this one's going to be a bit lower than the last one. I hope.
What's that based on? Is that just your instinct or?
Just my own instinct, you know. Like, a lot of the people that are down in there don't know what the floods are. They've never been through it, you know. Like, all the old people are near enough gone from down here. And I'm just going by what it's like. See, it's going up and down. It's coming up now. But you got to watch. If we can get rid of a lot of water now, I think we'll be right by the weekend, you know. You're going to get it. But there's nothing you can do about it, you know. The only thing around here that stirs you up is you see the water coming up, and then you get all the spots here around here, and they, you know, and like you're trying to protect your
I don't think they were working this
all around my front lander now, I put a tarp around there, and like when it's full height, they come around in their boats, and you know, the bow waves come and hit that, so I just don't want to like smashing the glass doors at the front, because it'll come straight through, but when it's coming up, you just can't do nothing about it, you know. So all we do is we get the grandkids out, and I've got places for them to go, and I'll just stay here as long as I can. Why power, we're right.
Why do you stay here? Why not just move to somewhere that's a little bit higher up?
Well, I get that all the time. Why don't you sell out, you know, and go? Even me two sons, they do it, so why don't you sell out and go? I live down this area.
I'm gonna go down the road.
50 years and that, you know, I couldn't wish for better people than all that down here. And they, you know, so, hey, how often do you get a big flood? I've had, what, 10, 15 little floods. They just only come up to the back gate or something like that, and it doesn't worry me, you know. So I like people down here, and that's it. So I'm not moving out.
Simple as that. Find good spots, find some good neighbours. It's pretty hard to leave, even if there are downsides to it. Pretty big downsides by the sounds of it at the moment. But still with a smile on his face. John Craig at one of the locals there, Depot Hill, talking to the ABC's David Olds. You're hearing some of the voices normally belong in other parts of the state, popping up all over the place at the moment. You can expect that to continue for a little bit longer just yet. In fact, the ABC's Kim Clyde, who's based in ABC Tropical North, is on the road this afternoon between Rockhampton and Gladstone, and has been able to give an update saying a lot of cars on the road, just trying to get through before the highway closes, and it's expected a little bit later on today, so that's something to take into consideration as well. If you're travelling, don't expect that it's going to be the usual trip. You will have to take a little bit extra time, and you will also have to drive in the conditions which I'm led to believe are looking fairly ordinary at this stage. So a bit of activity going on there, and a few things to be thinking about if you're travelling this afternoon. ABC Local Radio Queensland. 16 past 3, I'm Pat Hessian, and we're hearing some reports that the flooding of Cosmine is coming along a little bit quicker than had been anticipated. Mayor Ray Brown is in the box seat to be able to tell you exactly what's going on. Good afternoon, Councillor. What's the latest information you're getting on the Cosmine?
Well, we were fortunate enough to get a window in the network to try and get the heavy trucks through for miles from the west to the east, and also convoys of trucks coming back. Certainly we have free data, but what's happening at the moment is the Connemine River is coming a bit faster than expected at the township of Connemine. The expectation is getting that bridge height at about 8 p.m. this evening, and we'll be police all in at the moment that traffic through the network by 8 p.m. Because the roads certainly will be cut before midnight. You cannot assure any traffic through there after 8 p.m. Police trying to rectify? Yeah, well, we started that very early this morning. We tried this yesterday to try and find a window through. We certainly have one, but it's going to close very quickly on us. It certainly has freed up the Mooney Highway to allow transport on that Mooney
So this is only a point anyway, it doesn't actually go connect anywhere. There is no bridge at the end of this.
There is a Mooney Highway which is just out of Dolby, and the expectation is there that will close on Friday morning. So once again, only another small window.
That's got out. What?
Common mine houses will still be maintained at that protected 12 metres to 12 metres plus. At this stage, obviously,
the swelling.
revised.
Yeah.
So what is that? What do they say? 7.34, 9.34.
On Friday morning, and that will continue to at least Thursday of next week.
Okay, so that's the Condamine area. What about in other parts of your council area? Because, of course, we've had a couple of different spots where we've been paying a fair bit of attention recently.
Certainly the impact potential overnight where we had a peak of 6.53 metres there during the night. What that caused was inundation of 5 residential homes, and the impact of inundation of between 50 and 80 businesses. Now, certainly there's a significant impact, so obviously their water is receding extremely slowly, and that is of concern because people just want to get in and clean up and move on. But there's a significant amount of water there that will keep the Warrego Highway closed at Chinchilla at least Friday morning, and then it'll be revised at that stage. Now, when we were talking yesterday afternoon, you were worried about where to put all the trucks. I take that problem's been overcome in some fashion. Certainly have. We did open up a safe shelter out for motorists and travellers last night in Miles. We coached also shared tea, coffee, etc. In a room with a few beds, 40 beds in there. So you're able that most trucks do want to sleep in their vehicles. We've allowed transportation up to 160 trucks have gone through that network from the west to the east, and we're just about to take a police escort of road trains because they have to be under permit. They'll have a police car front and back through from the east to the west, and another one back from the west to the east. So the logistics-wise, there's quite a lot to get organised, and still knowing that we've got significant water right across our region. But we just want motorists to please respect particularly signs, respect the water.
9.4.
Trying our very best to get.
But this is receded a lot.
Yeah, it has.
Getting supplies back into our town.
So this goes just out to property, doesn't it?
This goes out to like another
Probably
sort of
should also
point.
suggest
Yeah.
a very small
Little
part.
point.
Next time we're up here, you should actually check it out.
Yeah,
From the whole town,
it's where
inside that's
Mary
just a very
Poppins
small
lives.
section of Chinchilla that's affected.
Just making it very hard to get around at the moment.
It's a little bit frustrating, but I
Maybe
keep
there's any
saying
beavers out there.
water might be high, but
Yeah,
our
what's all
spirits
that
are
about?
high.
Oh, that's good. And let's hope it stays that way. How much of the region have you been able to get around and have a look at then, given the transportation difficulties? I mean, how much have you seen with your own eyes?
Yeah, look, it's hard. I mean, being over there towards Mooney, I can't even get to my own property. I'm well aware of that. I'm getting information sent back. But I've got Minister McVeigh just coming into my office here, so we give him an update on our agricultural sector. We've been hit very hard areas because they're always on the floodplain area and significant water flows and damages, of course. So obviously logistics, transportation of livestock is east, and then we know with some of the biggest sale yards in Australia, the Dolby, and obviously today I had a yard for 500 years, but no one can get stocking.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised hearing that the sales were even going ahead. But, some things continue to rain, hail and shine, don't they?
Well, you know, we're very supportive of businesses to continue to trade. We must support them. Very important to support our local businesses. And we're doing it wherever we can. And look, but unfortunately for those who are stranded here from travelling, please spend loads of money. We're quite enjoying it.
That's it. In fact,
You say
reiterating what
spend
something
loads?
that Peter Blood will do in one of your neighbouring council areas, but if you'd like to stay for an extra day or two, you're very
Yes.
welcome to.
Get it, I'll be happy back when I'm better too.
Yeah, that's it. I think everyone would be happy with that arrangement, for sure. All right, well, I'm glad to hear the spirit dance tonight. Thanks for another update today.
No trouble, thanks, Dave.
Ray Brown, who's the Mayor in Western Town here on ABC Local Radio Queensland. In fact, talking about some of the routes that we might be able to go, possibility to get there, they're saying that the crossing through Condamine is going to be shut off. They're asking if the traffic can be through by 8 o'clock tonight. But after 8 o'clock, there'll be no guarantee that you'll be able to get through because they're anticipating that at least before midnight anyway, that the highway will be closed if you're travelling through Condamine. So beyond 4 8 o'clock is the absolute preference if you can get through in that window of opportunity there. The Keith is on the road at the moment, and I think you might have been travelling very well along the same lines as what they were talking about there. Hi, Keith. Have I got you there, Keith? I can hear a bit of noise in the background there, but I can't see Keith. So,
Hey, you know the other day, right, when you and Darius had just finished doing stuff and I was screening, Darius rang back in this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I rang you, and you actually, like, the phone answered, and I could hear you guys.
I can't remember what the circumstance of that was.
I heard you say, Darius, alright, dude. We're done here, I was like, let's go.
I can't remember why.
I was like,
I think it was the middle of something.
It's 24 past 3 right now, and if you're listening through ABC Wine Bay, once again this afternoon, special local program for you from 4 o'clock today, with all of the comprehensive local information you need. So, in more detail about the local road closures, in more detail about what's going on with the floodlights and what locals are doing to make the most of the situation. The right choice of words, but I think you know what I'm getting at there. And of course, if you'd like to get in touch with this afternoon, once again the number's 1300 36 0612, and you can send me a text message. Pretty straightforward. Just send a text message exactly the same way you would to anyone else, and all you need to do is hopefully just include your name and where you're sending the message from. It makes my life a little bit easier. I'd like to be able to say good day to you as well in the process of it all. The text message phone number 0487 993 222. 0487 993 222. I've got one here
33
saying,
degrees.
Thinking of all our friends at Rosedale.
What's 37?
And
37. Yeah,
they're not forgotten. Thank you to all the ABC local radio staff for your great help and great work. So thank you very much for that. It's nice to have a little bit of recognition for what's going on there. So many people doing so many wonderful things to try and make life the best that it can be with all the things that are going on at the moment. Once again, 0487 993 222 if you'd like to get in touch this afternoon.
ABC Local Radio Queensland.
I think we've got Keith back on the phone right now. He's trying to get his way back to Brisbane, I understand. Hi, Keith.
Yeah, hi, how are you?
I'm well. So, where have you been coming from to start?
Now check out this place up here. It's the same shirt that chick's wearing.
Left Brisbane last week. Managed to get up
See
to
that shirt,
Mount
that
Isa,
shirt that girl was wearing?
And
Was it a girl?
yeah, I was trying to get home
Yeah, she
from
had
Mount
like
Isa.
a green shirt with a cross on it. Well, look at the
And
cross
how
up at
far
this
is it?
house.
Obviously, the area around Mile. I'm guessing where you might have got to.
I got stuck
They're all
at
part of the same cult, isn't
Monday, and we were told we wouldn't get through till Friday.
Really?
Oh, no.
So
They're all really nice.
we spent a couple of days in the town. Then today I heard
It's called
that
Australian Republic.
by heading down to Tara, through Condamine to Tara,
Hidden key.
the Tara Dolby Road would be open. And yeah, I've just come through
Oh, we just
Dolby
put
up
some
near
stuff over.
Oakley now, and the road's good as far as potholes and that, but there is a bit of water over the road.
Right.
But cars will get through as well as four-wheel drives and trucks.
And how's the traffic?
Drove up there.
There was a lot of it. There was a lot of it. I think about 160 trucks left miles today.
Yeah, that's what the mayor was saying. So you were part of the convoy.
Well, they're taking
yeah,
people
I
over.
sort of I left a little bit after them, probably about 20 minutes after
infirm.
them, so I didn't catch up to them.
Yeah, one who gets to
Okay, well, that seems
Oh,
so you can
damn, they
make a
got some
reasonable
Aldi
pace.
nappies.
When do you think
Oh,
that
today.
sounds like you're making a reasonable pace then if you're not...
Could send your dad over to check in your
a big
grandma.
long line of trucks.
No, that's right, yeah.
She's alright.
Are you going to get home today?
Kangaroos.
Oh, yeah, I'll be
Dad,
home in my own
give us
bed tonight, thank God for that.
Yeah, it's okay for 1 or 2 nights in the back of the truck, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can't have the windows open night, all the bugs get you, you know.
Yeah, that's it, and pretty warm stuff after the rain too, isn't it, with the humidity?
Yes, humidity. Humidity
you're really
pretty bad,
into
like,
country living, aren't
especially
you?
when you're out where water has been.
Well, I had a country hat.
That's really cool house.
Yeah, isn't it?
But the people of Miles were great. They were lovely people. Looked after us.
I'm glad to hear it.
A big bouquet for the people of Miles.
There we go. Well, that's nice to hear. And hearing similar things from Warwick this time yesterday when we heard about the traffic being able to get through on the New England highway as well. So nice to have a bit of country hospitality going around too. Thanks for being patient and holding on the line there for a little bit, Keith. Good to hear from you.
That's right. Thank you very much.
Good on you, Keith. So he's on his way back to Brisbane after doing the trip out to Mount Isa to make some deliveries. But the trip back taking a fair bit longer than he'd expected it to, actually. Also, this afternoon, got a little bit of information coming from Stuart. He's on a property between Dalby and Cecil Plains on the Darling Downs. Hi, Stuart.
Oh, yeah, what was that done, isn't it?
What's that, sorry?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm going well. What are you up to at the
Yeah,
moment?
Beardy.
Well, we just put a bit of levy bank around our house here. We,
Quite a bearded
yeah,
cat.
just a little, I've got a helicopter actually. I've flown up here a few times back up to Warwick and back along the front of mine just to keep an eye on those at night. I was born in the middle of the farm here, so I've got a record of going back for the 40 years ago, the flood event. I just want to let people know that this flood that's coming this time is quite serious. I don't think people realise the volume of water that is going to come down the compromise next couple of days.
What does it look like from the air?
Well, like I flew from the property here, it's just near St. Ruth up
It's like,
to
like the
Warwick and
Aryan Republic.
around Pratton there, it would have been probably 15 kilometres wide at least. It's 15 k's wide. The concern I have is the flood we had on this property back in 2010, it peaked at the Cecil Plains Bridge at 8.74.
We walked up here.
And we had $300 of water through our home, but that's just picking the peak of Cecil Plains tonight at 9 metres, so
Yep.
it's actually,
We're losing it there, Stuart.
you're there.
Yeah, got to there. So you're building a levy bank around your place. So if it had 300 mils last time, it's going to be half a metre higher. Doing the maths on that sounds pretty ordinary, actually. So how much of a levy bank are you putting together?
Oh, we're actually earth-moving contractors, so we've got road train scientists, and we've just covered 6,000 metres of gravel, and we've put 2 metres of bank right up around the homestead here.
It doesn't do much for the view, but it might have some practical applications anyway.
Yeah, no, it certainly will. But like that's I just stress it. Like the flood we had in 2010, which was a bad flood, it peaked at the plains at 8.74.
So a little bit to go, and a little bit more on top of that, by the looks of that.
Yeah, so tonight they're talking it's going to peak at 9 metres. So that's all. I just trying to let people know that to realise the extent of how serious it is going to be. It's certainly not going to be a minor flood.
Yeah, and it's better than running around in the dark, trying to take care of things in the middle of the night to find where the water's actually ended up. So it's nice to have that bit of warning. Thanks, Stuart.
Yep, thank you very much.
Okay, good luck with it, and stay in touch. Let us know how you're going on your little island. It's like having a fairly significant moat around the house, isn't it, when you build the levy bank? But I don't know if anyone really wants those sorts of waterfront views at the moment. Anyway, so those Stuart, who's on the Darling Downs, saying that from the air it looks pretty impressive, but not in the way you want it to, and you can expect a fair bit more water coming down over the next couple of hours and into this evening. ABC Local Radio Queensland. I'm Pat Hessian, this is ABC Local Radio Queensland. Let's head back to Depot Hills in Rockhampton for a little more of what the locals are up to as they get ready for a flood peak of their own, which is expected in the next few days. You might have heard David Islet earlier on. Well, he spoke to a few other people around one of the suburbs that are expected to be flood affected. The Fitzroy River reaches its flood peak over the next couple of days. Dan Kalsma, is one of the people he caught up with. He owns a local convenience store, and he's determined to keep trading no matter what the weather does and no matter how high the flood water comes up.
If you've got the right plan, you can get through it all with the minimal of fuss,
So the predicted flood height is around about between 8.3 and 8.5.
Yeah.
What will that do here?
Well, basically it'll
Is it
you
more
might
than
still be able to
the
drive
railings? Or?
the street out the front here. It might just cover the roadway. Yeah. It won't come in the shop. It might come in the yard and that's about it.
So if that happens, you'd stay here, obviously, but it wouldn't kill off your business?
I've got a loyalty to the customers as well, and this local area
Now, when
here,
we
there's a
came
lot
down
of
that
people that
first
can't
day,
get
it was
about
only
during the floods. And,
a little bit
even
flooding
if they
here,
have to
wasn't
put
it?
on big boots and walk through the water, they'll probably come here.
To get through the photos.
Yeah, because remember we were like, oh,
I'm still going to get
we won't drive through that.
What about keeping your stock? How challenging is that
That's
in
right.
times of flood, or how challenging do you think it'll be?
Well, we've got between now and Saturday to make sure that we've got enough stock to get us through. It's sort of hard to tell what the demand will be, but I'd still like to be here as a sort of, even if it costs me money to stay here, it's probably cheaper than clearing out.
And building up that customer loyalty.
It's going to take a while to clean up.
The fact that you have stuck around as well.
Well, I've gotten to know the
Serious
community
force.
around here, and I feel that
Come on,
they really
mate.
need somebody that supports
That's
them
it.
in these times of flood.
Right in front of us.
Situations, even at the moment, you're going to the major supermarkets and a lot of the shelves are bare, and you've scant supplies of milk and bread and the other essentials, and yet we come in here and you've got plenty. How is that? How does that come about?
Well, basically because I've got direct contact with the suppliers, and they're local suppliers, whereas the main supermarket chains rely on trucking in all their goods. So I've got the advantage that the bakery I use, they bake every day, and they're up in Allenstown. They don't have any problems with flooding. So I just place an order, even if I have to drive there to put it in, because the phones, we had difficulty over the weekend ordering stock. So I just drove around to the suppliers and just handed my orders in.
There's a certain satisfaction in that you feel, when a little guy like you can keep the supply up and the big guys can't. You sort of feel a bit smug about that. Maybe smugg's not the right word, but you feel a bit.
Well, smoke probably coming close.
Really?
No,
I can't tell these days. I wasn't saying that in an appealing way, that kind of
for so
disgusting.
long supermarkets had the advantage over small retail shops, and in these sort of times I think that's where we show that we can stand there and support our customers.
It's ironic, isn't it?
What's going on here?
The little guy sticks with the local suppliers and does well out of it. The big guy goes to the out of town suppliers and comes to proper in times like this.
You get all these natural disasters. I think the logic is if you rely on too much on outside
I think a guy lives
supplies,
in that thing.
in these times you're not going to have the stock to provide the community with what they need.
There's positives in any situation, but I guess after the floodwaters go down, would you anticipate the business may go up? There's more people driving through, people helping with the clean-up, perhaps tradesmen later on helping fix up houses that have been damaged. Is it possible that businesses could actually do well after the flood?
Well, I think it may rise slightly, mainly due to the fact that the customers